Guys, we have some mind-blowing information to talk about for XRP Ripple right now. So as I go through this journey, trying to learn more and more about XRP Ripple, I basically want to share this information with you. And I have pulled up some very, very interesting data from Grok. We're going to go through the highlights of this. So how much is Ripple worth? Is there potentially going to be like an IPO for Ripple? How does Ripple even make money? How much money does Brad Garlinghouse make as well? We're going to be breaking that down in today's video, and I'm going to share with you guys stuff I didn't actually know about XRP and Ripple until I researched this with my buddy Grok, and it's definitely interesting. So I think, look, in crypto, the more information you can have about crypto, the better it's going to be. And I'll also talk about the XRP price as well, because at the end of the day, you know, who really cares about Ripple if you're not invested in it and you don't make money directly from it? So we'll talk about XRP price. We'll tie it all in at the end to XRP price. But there's definitely some stuff interesting in this video that it blows my mind, and I've never really known about it until now. So if you guys enjoy increasing your knowledge and just gaining more wisdom, like the video, subscribe if you like these kind of deep dives into XRP where we're looking at real data, real information, no fake news in this video. And this is coming out of artificial intelligence, gathering like the best intel in the crypto market and delivering it to you to become a better investor. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you are trading crypto and you are wanting to make money quickly, leverage trading, things like that, make sure to check out the special link to my Discord in the description of this video where you can sign up. You can become a VIP completely for free if you trade on any of those 3 crypto exchanges, but we will be increasing it in the future. All of them have bonus links as well. So if you sign up using the bonus link, you get trading bonuses. But on top of that, if you deposit at least $100, use one of those links, trade, you get access to my Discord where we are currently, doing trades in the crypto market. I have put in an XRP trade recently. It's a trigger order though, so it hasn't been activated yet. You can find that in the Discord, the VIP section, if you sign up. But we've been trading lots of cryptos, and I think the crypto market's looking hot. So there's plenty of potential to make money. And link will be in the description of the video if you guys like that. And you can also talk XRP in the sniper section of the VIP as well. I'll be in there. If you want to talk XRP as well, we can talk that in the Discord. But having said that, guys, let's talk about this mind-blowing video for XRP Ripple. So currently, $2.30 is the price of XRP. And I have seen, look, these articles flow around about the XRP ETF, which I do think is good news, guys. So XRP ETF hitting, that's going to increase, institutional demand for XRP, which I think is good. And people are talking about the IPO as well. So could there be an IPO of Ripple? Potentially they could, even though it might not be imminent, and there is speculation on how big, the market cap could get of Ripple. But what I thought was interesting in this video is, I actually looked inside what is in Ripple and how it actually makes money. And I wasn't actually aware of this before. And I'm going to share that with you right now. Just remember though, Ripple and XRP, they're completely different. So XRP is basically the token. So we'll write this up here. XRP is the token which you can buy on crypto centralized exchanges, put it on like a cold storage ledger device, and it's giving you a right, or it's giving you part access to the Ripple network basically, which is a cryptocurrency network. And we're speculating on whether the value of this goes up based on demand in the future from big institutions and things like that. Whereas Ripple is actually, this is a private company, guys. So Ripple Labs is a private company, and we're going to get into some very interesting data in this video where it's owned by private shareholders, right? And it makes money through some different ways, and we're going to actually tell you guys how they make money. Again, I didn't know about this, but we'll share it soon. It's a private company, and let's get into it right now. So I did run some stuff through Grok. So I wanted to know, generally kick it off with, before we get into how much money Ripple actually makes, I wanted to know what the market cap of Ripple is. And, people are saying this is worth about $11 billion based off a tender offer in January 2024. So they are putting it like roughly at about $10 billion. And what's interesting right here is if we actually benchmark that number, we can see where it slots in as a company. So remember, in crypto, you go to say this level right here. This gives you the market cap of crypto. So Bitcoin's 2 trillion, and you're going to see XRP at 140 billion. And so if we actually go over here, Ripple, if it's worth about $10 billion or so, you know, it would be slotting in. Where would it be slotting in? It literally would not make the top 100. It would be way down there somewhere. But we'll talk about how much that could potentially be worth and whether that's fully accurate. But yeah, it wouldn't even make the top 200. So that's where it would be sitting. So I wanted to know that information just to kick off with. But that's what Grok is telling me. So it's about 11 billion, 10 billion. And again, you go to these, you know, top companies in the US. What's the biggest one right here? Microsoft, 5.2 trillion. Wow. Nvidia, 5 trillion. Apple, 4.9 trillion. Amazon, 3 trillion. Google, 3 trillion. So some really big companies at the top there. And let's get into some more juicy data for Ripple. So XRP's market cap is actually way higher than Ripple, which is interesting, which is really interesting because Ripple, the company, you know, if it owns a lot of XRP, and we'll get into these dynamics soon, you know, XRP's market cap is actually worth way more than Ripple, the company. So XRP's market cap, you guys know it. If you just go to here, you know, you go scroll across, you're looking at about 140 billion. So it's actually like a 14x multiple of Ripple, the company. And, you know, what is interesting, I wanted to know how Ripple, the company, actually makes money. So at the moment, how does it actually make money? What is the category it actually makes money in? And, you know, for my own just knowledge, I just wanted to increase my knowledge. And if you have a look right here, how Ripple makes money, and surprisingly, this is what surprised me. Most of Ripple's money that it gets made is actually through selling XRP. So it says right here, Ripple holds a significant portion of XRP. The company periodically sells XRP to institutional investors, market participants, or through programmatic sales to fund operations and support the XRP ecosystem. Ripple uses escrow accounts to release up to 1 billion XRP monthly, ensuring controlled supply to maintain price stability. These sales generate substantial revenue, especially during periods of high XRP price. And in 2024, there was $3 billion worth of XRP sales. They also have other ones that we'll go through. So transaction fees. So there is going to be transaction fees right here. Ripple's global payment network. So this is very important. We'll talk about it later on in the video. And, you know, that is one way they can also make money is through those transaction fees. Software licensing agreements as well. So they're licensing software, subscription-based models. So Ripple offers subscription-based services for its payment solutions, ensuring stable recurring revenue. And you got the stablecoin as well. So in January 2025, Ripple launched its US dollar-backed stablecoin. And, you know, it earns money on interest on bonds, commercial paper, money market funds backing RLUSD. And it's using liquidity pools, investments and acquisitions. So it also invests into other types of companies, makes money off that, interest on loans. But one of the key things I thought was interesting, it actually makes most of its money from selling XRP. That is something I didn't know. So that is just something going into the Crypto Zeus knowledge bank at the moment. And I'm still processing that. So it actually makes most of its money. And it actually says right here, it makes most of its money from just selling XRP. So the company owns basically a bunch of XRP and it just continuously sells the crypto to the market. So 50 to 60% of the crypto actually gets sold. And in 2024, you know, it earned $3 billion in value just from, you know, selling XRP. So that is big money right there. And it actually has a large XRP reserve. So it's got over 41 billion held in reserve. And that means, look, in the future, it can potentially sell that. So a lot of the selling pressure, you know, you might actually find it's XRP itself in the market. So if we put in 41 billion, and I always have to focus when I put these numbers in. So it's 9 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I have to count it back. But if I just work quickly, that should be, I think it's 97 billion. So it's got $97 billion worth of XRP to potentially sell in the future. But the key takeaway, you know, I thought was interesting to share with you guys is it's actually making most of its money from selling XRP, not the actual other services. So not actually, you know, this other stuff. Even though this other stuff is important, this is what it needs to grow. Selling XRP seems to be the main revenue source. And then I wanted to know, you know, how does the Ripple, the company, actually drive up the value of XRP? And I think the most important thing of XRP, and we'll spell it out in here, But you know, Ripple, the company, the main thing it needs to do, because at the moment what's actually happening is I think there's a lot of sell pressure that actually comes from Ripple actually just selling the crypto itself. So that actually might be a reason, you know, a part reason XRP hasn't mooned as hard as potentially some of the cryptos over like, you know, a 10-year period right here. So you can see right here, if you compare it to like, I don't know, some other types of cryptos out there, it's a lot of sell pressure, I would say, right there. To if it's happening every month. So what needs to happen is this. So the big play for XRP, and we'll talk about the price later, it has to be this thing, right? So promoting XRP for cross-border payments, on-demand liquidity. So Ripple's ODL solution uses XRP as a bridge currency for fast, low-cost international money transfers, reducing reliance on traditional correspondent banking, increasing ODL adoption by financial institutions, boost XRP as institutions buy XRP to facilitate transactions, driving up its price. So this is the most important thing I would say at the moment. So this is actually not the dominant moneymaker for Ripple. Selling XRP is, and that's what Grok is telling me. And so that's going to be the most important way Ripple, the company, actually drives up the value of XRP, the crypto right there. Other ways it's going to do as well. So, you know, expanding RippleNet partnerships, launching and promoting RLUSD. So this is definitely a way it can make money as well. You've got regulatory wins. I don't think the regulatory wins are really a thing now. I think that is with Trump in power, it's just green lights, and investments and acquisitions, community marketing, community engagement, supporting ledger development. Okay, so what I would say from this is I would actually love in the future at some stage, and this is just me, look, putting my opinion out there, I would love them to maybe not sell as much XRP and do what some other cryptos do in the crypto market. And you know what other cryptos do, guys? They do buy ups and burns. So buy up the XRP token and actually burn it. That would really push up the price of XRP. But this is really interesting stuff. And then I also wanted to know in this video, I wanted how much XRP does it have to sell, and what's the selling rate per month, and how long does Ripple have before it runs out of XRP to actually sell to the market? Because at the moment it's actually funding a lot of its expenses through selling XRP. So to pay for all these employees, they're actually just selling the crypto. So if we have a look right here, how much XRP does Ripple have to sell? So direct holdings, it has approximately 4.56 billion in its XRP wallets, but this is the important one. It's got 37.13 billion XRP in its escrow accounts, which means it can, you know, get access to them later, sell it. So really it's these two numbers together, which is 41.69 billion. So that's how much they have to potentially sell. So again, was that the number we put into our thing before? I've removed my tab, so I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. So if we just chuck it in here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's got about $97 billion worth of US dollars worth of XRP to sell in the future. That's how much Ripple can sell. And let's jump back here. And how much does it sell per month? So it sells up to $300 million, 300 million XRP per month, which is, it's a lot of money. That's like $500 million or so, even it's more than that actually. It's like 600 million plus per month, and it's been doing this for a long time. And how, at the current selling rate, how long before Ripple runs out of XRP to sell? So it's got that amount, 41.69 billion, monthly sales rate, you know, 350 million XRP. Time to depletion, you know, you're looking roughly at 10 years before they stop selling XRP. So that is quite the journey right there. So May 2035, they could vary the rate as well, but that's obviously important to understand. So XRP continues to sell the crypto to the market, and yeah, it's got till May 2035 if they keep selling it. And you know, I also was curious on how much Brad makes out of being the CEO of Ripple, and this is, you know, information Grok has got for me. And remember, when you go into these companies, and we're not just speaking on Brad today, but you can go into any of these companies, right? Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, it doesn't really matter. What they have is they have a public annual report, and you can go in there and you can literally figure out how much people make, because you have to do it. It happens in all countries, Australia, USA, Europe, it doesn't matter. There's no hiding this information, so you can actually just find this. And that's what big companies do because they're public. And people are also talking about, you know, in the future, Ripple might become a public company. So if we actually jump back here to Grok, you know, they're actually estimating he might make maybe $10 million a year. But the thing for Brad, he actually owns like a ton of XRP. So he's got 6.3% stake in the actual company, which is worth a lot. So potentially it could be anywhere between 11 billion to 100 billion. I actually think Ripple might be worth more than that. So if they have 41 billion XRP in escrow and it's worth like $2, whatever it is at the market, $2.38, you know, right there, that's a lot of money. That's like, you know, 90 billion or so. So yeah, I think Ripple Labs, the correct valuation will probably be around 100 billion because they own that XRP that they can potentially sell to the market. And so, you know, Brad's probably on $10 million plus a huge stake in Ripple Labs. And, you know, I think for him, his holdings in XRP are king. So he owns so potentially he's got around $9 to $10 billion net worth. He might be one of the richest guys in crypto after CZ. And that's tied to his Ripple stake and XRP holdings. Okay, so it's really all tied to the Ripple cryptocurrency. And that is interesting. So big salary, lots of XRP. And that's actually the inner workings based off artificial intelligence, based off market data of how Ripple works, you know, how his company actually makes money. And look, ultimately, let's tie it back to XRP, the crypto though. So I would say a lot of the, you know, maybe the downwards or the flatness in XRP price of the last 10 years. And again, this is just my speculation based off what I'm learning in the market. That might have to do with a lot of the XRP sales. So if you're selling a crypto constantly, of course, that's going to suppress the price. So the XRP price might actually be suppressed by Ripple to some degree. And what's important though, so it's trading at $2.39, is in the future, you know, if this crypto is to be like a massive game changer and we want to see like, you know, a $10, $20, $50, $100, or, you know, $1,000 crazy XRP level, it all comes down to, you know, two factors right here. I think it's going to be this thing, the global payment network. So the transaction fees on that, they have to make a lot of money burning up the XRP. That's really the game changer for Ripple. So if it can, again, this is a business deal, really. It's about, you know, Ripple, you know, just dominating this market, right? So taking over Fed, taking over all these previous payment systems like Swift, and you know, driving up and burning XRP. So ultimately you have to destroy the supply, and then you have to also deal with this selling pressure of XRP, which is actually coming from the own company as well in the market. So that's interesting, and that's the big picture play for XRP. So I think it really comes down to, you know, the Ripple network really, and getting that adoption over the long term. And that's why, you know, high reward, high risk, but if it does pay off, obviously XRP holders are going to get insanely rich if it does happen. But in the meantime, that's some, you know, data to know. So if you didn't know that, guys, let me know in the comment section below if you didn't know that information. I didn't know that. I haven't, but I was curious. I'm always curious in crypto. I think if you can try and just figure out things, it can always benefit you. But that's just things I've seen. And again, if you guys want to trade crypto in the crypto market right now, and you do want to make some money, trading leverage and things like that, you know, you can join into the Discord. We've made some good trades recently. The crypto gods are blessing us, and we'll see how they go. And you can join up for free. Link to the VIP. Just sign up with all those cryptos exchanges, deposit $100, and then you submit the form. That's how you can get in. And then we might have more and more crypto exchanges in the future, because I'm a believer in freedom. People can choose whatever they want. So as long as it's a win-win, like you guys support the channel, you get a freedom of choice. And all these crypto exchanges are pretty similar. So, you know, Blowfin and Bitchnix have really good interface. BuyDeFi has a VIP section coming soon. And the guy in the Discord is actually a VIP. He's like connected into the crypto exchange. So we're going to be setting that up soon in the future. But it's really to give you guys the best, you know, trading experience as possible. So I want to look after my community. And if you guys got value out of today's video, if you learned something, let me know in the comment section below. And it's always good to just increase knowledge in crypto. But guys, appreciate you tuning in. Go have a good one. Crypto to the moon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Crypto Zeus signing out.